A young French man is returning to Australia after a short trip to Bali. It's his fourth entry into Sydney in the past 2 years, and Border Force officers want to know why.
He spent 1 year in Australia on a working holiday visa. He did all his work in Sydney. Since finishing that, he got a tourist visa and he's been here for a couple of months, gone away for a bit and spent a third lot of 2 months here. And now he's back again today for 20 days. So I'm a little bit concerned that he's spending a substantial amount of time on shore. And more importantly, how's he sustaining this sort of travel? How is he able to afford it? Hello there.
How the man is funding his trip is a major concern to officers after an earlier bag search revealed he is carrying an envelope containing a large amount of money.
50 denominations, here we go. 1, 2, 3.
Officer Tim counts the lot and it comes to a total of $7,500.
Okay, you can take all the money.
It's a worrying amount of cash for someone who has no work rights in Australia, and Officer Yvonne needs to clarify a few issues.
Now, after your working holiday visa finished, you came back to Australia. What have you been doing in Australia?
Training.
Training?
Yeah.
What sort of training?
MMA.
What is MMA training?
It's mixed martial arts.
Do you have like a Facebook account or something that you can show me your fighting with MMA stuff?
Yeah.
He accesses his social media accounts, which contain photos and videos of his MMA training.
That was in Thailand.
His story appears to be legitimate, but it still doesn't explain how the man is supporting himself in Australia and where his large amount of cash came from. Officers are hoping a closer look at his social media accounts may provide a clue.
He's got the money, but where did he get it from? He's got no traceable way of showing us.
Thousands of items are processed at the International Mail Centre every day, and biosecurity officers continually scan parcels in order to intercept anything that may present a risk to our environment.
Steve, you have a look at this one?
Yeah, what do you got?
A box coming through from Thailand. You got 3 different types of things here. Really dense items here, and then something sort of really bitty just all over the place, and then like a really light texture here.
Yeah, just have another look at the declaration.
Dried fish, fish paste, etc.
It looks more than just dried fish, though.
Yeah, there's a lot of moisture in there for dried fish.
That doesn't look like fish.
It's something
unusual.
It's something organic. It does have some sort of a bone structure to it. You see you got these chunks sort of right here.
Yeah, there's more than just what's declared on that. We'll have a look at it.
Yeah, take that one in.
The suspicious parcel is taken to the deconstruction room to be inspected more closely.
It doesn't look like fish on the X-ray, but it possibly is some sort of other animal. We don't know until we open up and have a look.
As soon as the lid is opened, the risks are clear and officers sense a major problem.
Oh, do you smell that?
Yeah.
In Sydney, Border Force officers have stopped a young woman returning from Mexico for a bag search, and they are surprised when she immediately tells them she is carrying narcotics for personal use.
After examination of her, we found small amounts of cocaine, small amounts of amphetamine.
A thorough search of her luggage fails to find any more illicit substances. However, the investigation is now stepped up as officers become aware that the woman is travelling with her boyfriend, who they locate in the passenger hall and escort to an interview room for a bag search.
Passenger is pretty cool, pretty calm. He's just sort of sitting back, just answering questions politely.
It may all turn out to be nothing, as no obvious concealments are found in the man's luggage. But there is one item he is carrying that raises officers' suspicions.
We found 3 bottles of champagne in the passenger's bag, and we'll take them away for further testing and see where we go from there.
A swab test will indicate if these bottles or the passenger need any further investigation. Border Force officers are trying to work out how this French mixed martial arts fighter has managed to live in Sydney for 5 months on a tourist visa and why he is carrying over $7,000 in cash.
So how are you supporting yourself during this time?
If I need money, my parents give me. Because when I finish to my school, he say me, if you get the diploma, you have to do your passion.
So what, MMA is your passion?
Yeah.
He claims his parents are providing the funds for him to pursue his passion. But outside, Officer Tim has located messages on the man's social media that indicate there may be another way he is bankrolling his time here.
There's some dialogue about the party scene, nightclubbing, etc. And he's putting sort of one-way comments in there, sort of going, look, I'm coming without my caps, which, you know, may be some sort of lingo for drug use here in Australia. And there's evidence to suggest that he may be supplying some narcotics here in Australia.
With the help of a French-speaking officer, further messages are translated to try and get a clearer picture of what is going on.
In my black suitcase, there is
A demi-ounce, amount?
an amount, yeah. Make sure there's no one in the room when you take that.
Okay, there's something odd going on there.
But then a conversation between the passenger and someone named Omar raises officers' suspicions even further.
The parcel did not pass. It is the first time this happened.
Yeah.
Oh, it's okay, I didn't have much, only 50 grams. 50 grams of what?
I don't know.
Is the question. What's interesting is if he's got something that is being sent to him which is a saleable item, such as drugs, that's how he might be funding his stays here. It could well be that he's got a little business going here.
At the International Mail Centre, officers are inspecting a parcel which is declared to contain dried fish and fish paste.
Oh, do you smell that?
Yeah. Got some homemade fish paste. Who knows what's in that fish paste?
The initial X-ray of the box has officers concerned that it may also contain other undeclared and potentially high-risk items.
This tobacco smell is what really got up my nose.
Yeah.
There's a lot more of this to you, isn't there?
Yeah. More again. And then even more.
Yeah, these smell like tobacco. They're raw, they're unprocessed.
Raw, unprocessed tobacco is a high-risk item and can carry all sorts of dangers to Australia's environment and agriculture.
These leaves are very, very diseased. But also, what we might do is give them a sieve and see if we've got any creepy crawlies on here.
And their fears are now confirmed.
There we go. We've got some things crawling. It could be a spider. There's a couple other little creepy crawlies. These have all come from Thailand. Hitched a ride on the back of some tobacco leaves.
There is a risk that the insects are harbouring disease with the potential to devastate Australian crops.
They could be very dangerous. So what we'll do is send them off to our entomologists to be identified.
The biosecurity risks don't end there, and further investigation of the box reveals another bizarre and quite disgusting secret.
Does that look like fish?
That doesn't look like fish, that has legs.
God, I've never seen this before.
Border Force officers in Sydney are investigating if this man is importing narcotics after the woman he was travelling with admitted to carrying drugs for personal use. 3 bottles of champagne he is carrying have been taken to an examination room and swab tested for traces of narcotics, and the result is positive.
And it's come up positive for cocaine.
Liquefying narcotics to smuggle them across borders is a method used by drug cartels. But if these bottles do contain cocaine, it's a very sophisticated concealment.
I haven't seen liquid cocaine like this. It's normally tampered with, the seals are tampered with, but this one's not, so we'll wait and see.
One of the bottles is open so the liquid inside can be tested, and officers finally spot a small sign that something may be up.
This appears like there's plastic.
It's plastic.
It's plastic, it looks like glad wrap.
It's the first indication of possible tampering, but it's not the only one.
Okay, so there's no pop at all.
A sample of the liquid will now be tested, as officers are still unsure what they are dealing with.
It still kind of looks like champagne. It
Smells like
champagne.
A first offender test should give them a definitive answer.
If it's cocaine or champagne.
At the International Mail Centre, biosecurity officers are inspecting a parcel declared to contain dried fish. However, things are not what they seem.
That's raw.
That's what we thought it was, dried fish.
Dried fish, but
Does that look like fish?
that doesn't look like fish. That has legs.
Do fish have legs?
Not the ones I've seen. I reckon we've actually got frogs here.
Yeah, you know what?
Yeah.
That's exactly what they are. They don't look like anything else.
No.
The bag is opened, and Officer Stevens' hunch is correct.
Frog. Was the guts of the frog. Steve, have a look at this. Look at it's all growing in there.
Oh, God.
We got fungus growing within the
Bacteria.
frogs. And bacteria. But the frog's not only the only concern with that, it's actually what it's bringing with it.
I must say, Dave, I've never seen this before.
No, not frogs like this.
Especially if this is for consumption.
Sometimes these would be just consumed as part of an ingredient in a meal. So these would be for putting into a soup, or could almost be like even just like beef jerky for someone. Just there's a bit of its guts just hanging out. But just have a bit of a chew on that and have it down with a beer, you'll be all right. That one is growing. I don't think the drying process or the cooking process has quite been successful. Just that little bit of moisture in there enabled the bacteria to actually grow. On all of the frogs, you can actually see it's quite common where it's all growing within the insides of the frog. They're festy, yes, they're definitely festy.
They are not only festering, these frogs present an extreme risk of transmitting any pests and diseases which they are carrying into Australia.
There are a multitude of different potential diseases that they could be harbouring, as well as the bacteria that's actually growing on the frogs themselves. All of these items will be destroyed today because having these enter our ecosystem is not something that you would want.
And these were going to come into the country like that and to be ingested by people here. That's terrible. That's actually got an insect sitting on it as well.
Yeah, he's having a feast before it even gets there.
It's an enormous and critically important haul from Thailand, totalling 4 kilograms of frog carcasses, fish paste, and 3 kilograms of raw tobacco.
There's a very good interception today. The tobacco and the frogs could have been very harmful to Australia's ecosystem and could have actually ruined millions of dollars worth of export industry.
Border Force officers have serious concerns that this French mixed martial arts fighter may be involved with narcotics after locating incriminating information on his social media.
The parcel did not pass. It is the first time this happened. Oh, it's okay. I didn't have much, only 50 grams. 50 grams of what?
Officers' suspicions are raised even further as information is discovered relating to an address where the man lives when he's in Sydney.
An address which was associated with our client did have a consignment delivered to it in the past, which contained drugs.
Officer Yvonne will now confront the passenger with the information they have found.
Who is Omar?
Omar?
Yes, who is Omar? Who is Omar?
Omar?
Omar, yes. Omar. You have a friend called
I have
Omar?
a lot of Omar.
You have a lot of friends called Omar. Okay. What is this consignment for? What is being sent?
Huh?
Something being sent to you. This one, the parcel did not pass, huh? What was 50 grams that you had in the parcel? This is a photograph of a consignment note. Somebody was sending you something.
Through an interpreter, the man offers an explanation.
Ah, j'ai envoyé du tabac à chicha. I sent tabac à chicha.
Okay, what is tabak shisha exactly? What is it exactly?
It's like for smoke. Tabac à chicha. Because in France it's cheaper.
Okay. Something in my black suitcase on top of the wardrobe, in a little box I have there in a half ounce. Half
Yeah.
ounce of what?
Tabac chicha. I see.
Really? All of these messages are about tobacco.
About what? About what? I have tabac shisha.
Did you bring any this time?
No, I don't have now.
You don't have now.
I don't have.
Whatever the man is up to, officers must now assess if he will be allowed to enter the country today.
He's quite agitated now. He's like pacing because he can see that it's looking like it's in danger. It has come to my attention that there appears to be a ground for cancellation of your visa.
This French MMA fighter has been issued with a notice of intention to consider cancelling his tourist visa.
You have not spent any time engaging in tourism activities despite having spent around 5 months in Australia this year.
He must now convince Officer Yvonne why he should be allowed to enter Australia for the 4th time.
Vous, je vous ai donné mes mots de passe de tout.
Since the beginning, I've been very honest with you. I gave you all the passwords for my social network.
On va dire passé en Australie, j'ai été honnête.
It is 2 years I've passed in Australia. I've been very good, honest, and I just want to finish very good in Australia, do my road trip for 2 weeks, and then go back to France.
The man has failed to address any of the issues raised, and officers doubt he is telling the truth. So, after weighing up all the information, a final decision is made.
I'm satisfied that there are grounds for visa cancellation. You are being refused immigration clearance and will be removed from Australia as an unlawful non-citizen as soon as can be arranged. He's disappointed, and that's a natural reaction. But when it comes to the visa itself, you have a visa, it's a tourist visa. Are you using it for that purpose, or is there something else going on?
Border Force officers suspect this Australian citizen arriving home from Mexico with his girlfriend is attempting to import liquid cocaine inside 3 bottles of champagne.
So a normal bottle of champagne would open obviously with a pop of gas, and there would be normal seals and you wouldn't see plastic hanging out like we see here.
A sample of the liquid will now be tested using First Defender laser technology.
Ready? Go.
And the results are almost immediate.
Yeah, cocaine. It's positive cocaine.
A secondary test is carried out to confirm the results.
Yep, same thing, cocaine.
The bottles contain pure liquid cocaine. And close inspection of the label reveals this concealment is no accident.
For Australian from Rosebery.
Okay.
So he's taking it over with him.
He's taking it with him.
All the evidence will now be documented, and the Australian Federal Police are called to deal with both the male and female passengers.
The female has been given a court attendance notice today for the small personal stash of cocaine and dexamphetamine that we found in her possession. So she's been released pending the court attendance notice.
The man is now arrested and taken into custody by the Australian Federal Police.